And welcome to the episode of DIOTALK. I'm Dio. Let's talk. My guest of the evening is an amazing entrepreneur. He is the co-founder of Green Pal. Ladies and gentlemen, give a warm welcome to Bryan Clayton. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. Well, thank you for having me on. It's great to be here.
Thank you for coming on. It's such an honor having you on. You have an amazing product that I wish I had when I was younger. When I first started my entrepreneurship mowing lawns.
Totally. That's what we're built for. GreenPal is a mobile app that connects homeowners with lawn care services. So kind of like DoorDash or Postmates or Instacart or Uber, but for lawn care. And it's a nice convenience for consumers. They can order lawn mowing at the push of a button. But to your point, the real reason why we built it was for lawn care services to be able to grow their business, to be able to have a business in a box almost, an operating system they can run their whole business on top of and connect with customers and go from 10 customers a week to 100.
Wow.
That's why we do what we do. And my first business was a lawn care business. I started mowing yards in high school and
Nice.
stuck with that business for like 15 years and grew it up into a bigger company. Ultimately, I got that business to about 150 employees, and then it was acquired by a big national company. So after I sold that company, I thought, well, somebody's going to build an app that works like Uber but for lawn care. Why
Yes.
why why can't it be me? And that's what I did. Recruited two co-founders, and we started working on it. Now GreenPal is a 10-year overnight success. It's nationwide in the United States, and around 300,000 people use it every week to get lawn mowing.
Wow. Wow. That's amazing. So like I guess you already my next question would be what inspired you, but you kind of already niched that question down. So you've been doing it for over 10 years. What motivates you to push it out there?
Yeah. So when I sold my first business, um, I made enough money off that where I wasn't like super wealthy or anything,
Hmm.
but I didn't have to work anymore, and so it was kind of like I could live middle class for the rest of my life and not have to do anything. And I thought what I was going to do was like take it easy. I thought that I was just going to do investing and maybe some real estate investing
Nice.
because running that business for 15 years and then selling it, it almost like killed me. It was so hard.
Yeah.
And and so I really didn't want to do that again. So I tried to quit. I tried to do that. I took like a year and started investing in real estate and just started doing some like mentoring and stuff. And I realized like I got bored really quick. And
Mm.
the answer to the question, like if it why should I get out of bed in the morning? Or if it wasn't for me, then what? Like my business was always the answer to those questions. And
Mm.
now that I didn't have a business, I didn't have a mission, I felt empty and I felt like I didn't have like a rudder in life. It was really strange. And so I thought, well, I'm going to start another company. I don't want to start another contracting business because that was really hard. But and I took an Uber ride for the first time
Wow.
in San Francisco. It's in 2012, and I thought, man, I just pushed a button and a stranger came and picked me up. This could work for lawn care, and I thought, well, I'm gonna do that. And the first year, maybe even 2 years, was really really hard getting
Mm.
this business going, building the app and trying to figure out
Yeah.
how it should work. And so and we my two co-founders and I worked on the thing for like a year and a half, and we only had like 20 customers. And I almost quit at that moment, and they I think they wanted to give up too, but I thought, well, I should just work on my best idea from this moment forward. And I shouldn't like by default, I'm just going to do that. And this is my best idea.
Hmm.
I have no other good ideas. And I guess like I'm not terribly creative in that sense. And so by default, just kept working on it.
Yeah.
And because I knew that I didn't want to quit, I knew I had to do something. And so we just kept grinding on it. Oh, and just trying to make it better and better. And even though we had 20 customers, we knew we could get it to 100. And so we just set a goal for 100. How do we get 100 damn customers to use this in a week? And it took like another year. and we ended up getting 100 customers, and then that was like a moment where I thought, okay, this can work because I know we can get it to 100, I can get it to 1,000. If I can get it to 1,000, I get it to 10. And we just kept doing that over and over and over again, and setting kind of not small but attainable goals,
Yeah.
and focusing everything we had on knocking down that goal and not worrying about anything else. Really, like kind of working it like a video game almost,
God.
and just working one level at a time. And Super Mario Brothers, we don't worry about Bowser, just get through Waterworld or whatever
Yeah.
level you're
Got to
on.
this level. Yes.
Yeah, get through this level. So that's what we did, with one level at a time, and made little small goals and stayed alive. And now here we are 10 years in. It's the business is profitable and growing, but it still feels like day one. It still
Yeah.
feels like we're on level 3 or 4. We got a long way to go.
But I found that incredible. I'm like excited because it's so simple. It's not something, you're not reinventing the wheel. It's something that we need. Like I was talking about this with my wife the other day. Our house in the front needs lawn mowing. So I usually do it, but I can't do it all the time. If it was something so simple, I could research something that was not going to be cost efficient. I just schedule a call, something like your platform. It'll be great.
Totally. I think some of the best ideas are the simplest and the most approachable. You should be able to explain what it is you do in a couple
Yes.
sentences. And one of my favorite kind of quotes is from Jeff Bezos, and he said, "It's not the thing. Like I don't really worry about the things that are going to change.
Mm-hmm.
I focus on the things that never change."
Mm-hmm.
And he said, our customers are never going to want, they're always going to want cheaper prices, faster delivery, and more options. And they're
Yes.
always going to want that. And so I don't worry about what's going to change. I only worry about what's never going to change.
Got
And
it.
and that's kind of how we look at it with this little humble world that we're in with lawn mowing, making that as easy as pushing a button. I know it's never going to change that people want to get a lawn mowing service cheaper, faster, smoother without calling around,
Mm-hmm.
and they know that it's going to show up on Thursday. And I know what's never going to change is small business owners wanting to make more money with less headache. And I know those
Yeah.
are never going to change. And so we just focus on that one set of problems and try to
Mm-hmm.
build technology to solve those things.
Yeah, I agree. What I love about it is essentially you're almost cutting out the middleman. So you have this website application, you research what you want rather than having that tedious conversation on pricing and footing. Like I know for a fact I have my own side business of printing shirt, and I work with a lot of contractors, whether it's in mowing lawns or construction, and pricing is always uh everyone wants more for cheap. And
Yeah, totally.
sometimes as a business you can't negotiate that way, right? So with your business you're cutting out the middleman and searching what's out there, providing options, providing essential what's valuable and not valuable.
Yeah, well, in where we really kind of cut out the middleman is you don't want a big landscaping company with 100
Mm,
employees like what I had
yeah.
to come mow your yard for you because they're going to be expensive. They have all kinds of overhead. You're not going to get personalized service. They
Yeah.
don't really care you're one of 100 or 1,000 customers. Who you really want is Peter in a pickup, Chuck in a truck, Molly in a mower. You really want the smaller sole proprietor who's on the mower, who's going to do a good job. They care about your service, they care about your business. And that's who GreenPal puts you in touch with. That's who GreenPal
Mm,
connects you with. It enables you to hire one of these folks as easy as doing business with the bigger company, but more personalized service and better pricing. And because that they have less overhead and they are on the come up.
yeah.
And that's who we are built to serve. We're built to serve those smaller proprietors.
No, that's amazing. I agree 100% with you. Are your partners experienced in what you've done throughout these years, or are they also entrepreneurs, uh started off their career and jobs of landscaping as well? They're knowledgeable.
So I was the only one that had a business and had
Mm,
business experience. The two of them had corporate gigs at Dell Computer, and And the only thing that we had going for us was the three of us had a chip on our shoulder. We wanted to build something big that could touch the mass market. We didn't, none of us knew how to build software. None of us knew how to code. None of us had
Yeah.
ever done anything like that. And yeah, I had built and sold a business, but I was very much like a first time founder all over again, building GreenPal. And and so I figured, we could learn everything else. I figured we could learn the software development. We could learn, search engine optimization and
Hmm.
product design and user experience and all these things. And ideally, you get what's called you get like a hacker and a hustler. You get these two skill sets to come join a mission, and one plus one is five. Kind of like Steve Jobs and
Hmm.
Steve Wozniak. The two of them were very different minded people, and that's ideal. But we didn't have that. We just had three hustlers, three people that were ambitious. We all had a chip on our shoulder. We wanted to build something big, and that's all we had. And
You,
then
you
we
you
just
guys were the future Steve Jobs. That's all you guys knew. You were gonna get there no matter what.
we were inspired by Steve Jobs for sure, and inspired by uh, what Uber was doing at the time, and what Airbnb was doing at the time,
Yeah.
because they were some of the first companies that were connecting people at a local level through an application, and that inspired us to think, okay, well, if they can do that for sharing a spare bedroom, and if they can do that for sharing your
Yeah.
car, we can do it for lawn mowing. And so yeah, we took a lot of inspiration from people who had done what it is we are trying to do in other spaces.
Was there any like was it any like trial and error for the application because developing a software and enhancing it, right? That's a different story when you're trying to get it what you want it to do for. Was that a learning curve for all three of you?
Absolutely, and one that caught us off guard. So
Mm.
you think that you're going to build it and then and launch it, and then you're kind of done, is what you think is
Yeah.
going to happen. And that's what we thought. So that's actually what we did. We paid a development shop to do that. And so we like pulled together our money and spent $150,000
Wow.
with a dev shop. This is a boutique group with some engineers and designers, and you like tell them what you want, and they build it. And so we did that, and took them 9 months, and we launched it, and we quickly learned that that when you're building a new piece of technology, it's
Yeah.
like it's a never ending set of improvements and problems you're solving.
Yeah.
When you're done with the first version, that means you're starting, and it doesn't mean you're done. It means that you're starting. Like you got a minimal
Yeah.
viable product in the marketplace. Now is when we start the journey, and the journey is getting users to use that thing, and then you making relentless improvements on it, because you don't really know what to build. You
Yeah.
have a set of ideas in your head, but they're based on your assumptions. And it's like the Mike Tyson quote, everybody's got a plan till they get punched in the nose. That's
Yes.
what building a tech product is like. It's like you just don't know what you don't know. And the only way you can kind of figure it out is to listen to what users are telling you, and to improve and modify and change the product based on that. And so you have to be able to do this stuff yourself. And so we had to go to software boot camps and go to YouTube University and teach
Same here.
ourselves
Yeah.
teach
Yes.
ourselves how to build software. That was painful, but it was what we had to do to,
Yeah.
to get to be in the game.
Another skill set that you never knew you would acquire.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like when you're in business at any level,
Hmm.
you you have to work in the business. You're doing three
Yes.
things at once. You're working in the business, you're working on the business, and then you're working on yourself. You have to learn skills, you have to evolve, you have to grow. And a lot of times, every business reaches a choke point of what the founder's capabilities are. And so if
Hmm.
you're not, learning and evolving and learning new skill sets,
Hmm.
it's going to be challenging. It's going to be really tough. And so, it was just nonstop doing stuff, building stuff, talking to customers, improving the systems, and then nights and weekends, hitting the books, YouTube University, podcasts, online courses, trying to learn stuff, trying to learn how to code, how to design a user experience, how to do good copywriting.
Yes, yes.
Doing good copywriting is important. So all of these skills you learn are kind of block and tackling for what's required at that level of the game.
Man, you're preaching to the choir. It's difficult. It's tedious. It's
Tedious is a good way to describe it.
relentless,
Yeah.
especially when you're self-educating, right? Because one thing you can get a college or university degree, but it's they give you the information on what might present themselves, but it's not where you're actually going through, you know?
Right. Totally. Yeah. I have mixed emotions on a standard 4 year degree. My little nephew, he's 17 and he's getting ready to go to college. And
Hmm.
he's asking me, he's like, I want to do something kind of like what you're doing. So I want to get a CS degree.
Mm,
And like I didn't have the heart to tell him, like, look, man, whatever they're going to teach you at this state school you want to go to is going to be irrelevant and outdated.
mm,
I mean, sure, if you go through the 4 year program, it might steer you in a direction or open up some doors in a path that you might not have thought of. But if you're thinking about being getting into tech, don't don't
hmm.
don't go get a CS degree. Just go to YouTube University and
Yes.
start building something. You'll learn more doing that. You'll learn more in a weekend trying to build and launch an app than
Hmm.
you will in 4 years of CS, getting a CS degree. So I don't know if college is totally irrelevant, but it definitely is less relevant than it was when I went 20 years ago.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's well, first of all, technology is always evolving. So, you're starting now college. In 3 months it might change.
Yeah,
4 months
totally.
it might change. Imagine in years now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it,
4
it's a
years later, yeah, forget about it.
mhm.
And now if you're smart enough to go to a place like Stanford or MIT and you're at that level, that's
Mhm.
different. But if you're going to a state school and you're going to
A
try to get,
community college.
yeah, I mean, I think you're better off going to YouTube University.
Mhm.
I really
And we're
do.
not offending nobody. We're just,
No, I'm just
we were just being realistic.
well, I'll tell you, when I'm looking to hire somebody, I don't care if they went to college or not. I don't care who you know or where you went
There
to
you go.
school.
Yes.
I'm just looking at what have you built?
Mhm.
What have you done? Show me some evidence of capabilities and past performance of what it is you've done. And
Mhm.
what where you've gone to school is irrelevant
Yeah.
in my world. And probably more jobs are like that. Now a degree does kind of demonstrate that, hey, I can stick something out for 4 years.
Mhm.
And that's better than nothing.
Consistency, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And if you're going to waste those 4 years and not do anything, then yeah, go to college. But
Yeah.
but if you have an idea for a business you want to start the damn business. Forget college.
Yeah.
The,
No,
your
I
contemporaries will never catch
yeah,
up with
I agree, but my argument with that is I don't think the degree is a problem. I think is that you're not hungry enough.
you.
So
Yeah,
you're like when a job looks at, oh, you went to Stanford, but are you hungry to do this?
yeah,
Because a lot of them will get the degree and they just want a paying job to pay that debt,
yeah.
and hopefully near the fruit something happens that inspires them. But somebody who just it's not the same thing you wanted to learn something than somebody
Right.
teaching you something you don't want to learn.
Totally.
So that hunger has to be there.
Yep.
You know,
Yep. And the
when I was
focus and the direction. If you're totally aimless, you have no clue what you want to do. A lot of
mm-hmm,
people go to college by default
mm-hmm,
because that kind of solves that problem. And
agreed. Yep.
and then they're let down when they graduate 4 or 5 years later and they've got 50 100K in student loans, and it's like, well, I was promised a big paying job and they're not there. And so yeah, I mean, I don't have the answer, but I would give pause to the idea of going to a traditional 4 year college
Mm-hmm.
these days.
I just says have the hunger,
Yeah.
and this point, you're a self-made man who started off, knowing what you know, right? Landscape. Then you built that up. Then you sold it. Then now you're embarking on a new journey, something different. but yet the same at what you first started, stick with and evolve. But you're passionate about that. You're hungry about that. The sense of uh sitting at home and doing nothing bored you. You want something that stimulates your passion, and that's the most important part.
Yeah, you gotta love and so I think the advice follow your passion can
Hmm.
be misleading and it can steer you down the wrong path
Hmm.
because a lot of times what you're passionate about you can't make money at. Maybe you're
Hmm.
passionate about music. Music business is notoriously ruthlessly hard. I'm from Nashville and we get 100 people move here every week wanting to be the next big country music
Hmm.
star. And so follow your passion might be bad advice in that context. If you're passionate about cooking, the restaurant business is one of the most miserable businesses you can operate.
Yes, I agree.
And so follow your passion might not be good advice. Um, I have never been passionate about lawn care or landscaping. In fact, I hate mowing yards. If I never have to mow another one ever again, that would be great. And so I hate the lawn mowing business. But I'm passionate about building something bigger than myself. I'm
There you
passionate about
go.
working with a team with people who are smarter than me and watching them prosper along with the company and watching everybody kind of marching in the same direction. I'm passionate about people who use our products and get value from them. I believe what we do is a public good. And so I'm passionate about that stuff. I'm not passionate about grass cutting. And so it's important to kind of find
Yeah,
the
you're
passion.
balancing that. Yes,
You got to find the passion. You got to find what the joy in what you're doing.
I agree 100%. So you've been doing this for 10 years. Like, are you going public or are you going on Shark Tank? Because you essentially, in my opinion, as somebody who has mown lawns and find that need of, hey, a side hustle, I can do this, which your platform gives that opportunity to
Yes,
experiment, but also decide if you want to make a business out of this, which
totally.
is tremendous. So like it's you have your business has a major potential in progress. Like so, what do you envision that being?
Yeah, it's so we've decided to self-fund the business. So we haven't
Mm,
raised any outside investor money. And we that was a conscious decision we made in year one, just because I didn't want any pressure exerted onto the business that wasn't from customers.
got it.
And so when you go and raise money from investors, you're kind of beholden to what they want to see the business do. And so I didn't want that. And so we didn't do that. And so that kind of enables us to just go at our own pace, build it as we see fit and take our time building it. Whereas if you raise capital from investors, you got to
Yeah,
move really fast. And a lot of times it's get rich or die trying, and more die trying
been
than
getting rich.
they get rich. And it's like nine out of 10 fail. And so we're 10 years in, uh 300,000 or so people using it, and we want to get to 1 million people using it.
Nice.
I feel like at 1 million people using the product will be in the same kind of conversation as an Instacart or a
Mm,
DoorDash. And so that's what we're driving towards. And I'll keep running the company as long as I'm doing decent at it and I'm having fun doing it, which I am. I am having fun doing it. And if I ever get to a point where I'm not, then we'll get a professional CEO or explore selling the company.
got it.
There's the acquisitions happen all the time in these types of tech things, but we've never really explored that. But those options are available to us if we wanted to.
Nice, nice. Is this only in the US? Are you branching out to other countries?
Ideally, yes. So as of right now, it's only in the United States. And soon we'll be in Canada and UK and Australia. Ideally, we will make this a multinational thing. There's no reason why it wouldn't work in those countries. The challenge is we have this weird thing where it's not like it's one network or
Mm,
one thing. It's like 300 networks because every town is
yes.
its own little network. And so if you live in If you live in Newark, New Jersey, you don't care how many lawn guys there are in Philly on the network.
Hmm.
You care about who's within a 10-mile radius of me. And so we're always having to solve that supply
In
and chicken
demand,
and
yeah.
egg problem. And so we have a long way to go in the United States to solving that problem because we find that some markets do a lot better than others, and we're trying to fix the ones that need help. And
Yeah.
so once we feel like we're at a good place there, the point of diminishing returns, we'll then go into Canada and UK and Australia.
Yeah, so it's like you said earlier, it's all about level. Right now, we're trying to
Yeah,
master this one and building
totally.
up to the next, which I totally admire and respect and understand because it's like you have to accept the realms of your capability.
Yeah, and focus too.
Yeah,
It's like, yeah, I want to be international, man. That would be cool, but we got to focus on this level right now.
yeah,
And it's like, yeah, have it in the back of your mind, have it as a goal, but almost got to put on the back burner. This happened, when we were in our we spent 3 years just in Nashville, Tennessee,
wow,
and we just couldn't. Like, I wanted to launch our second city. Now we're in 300 cities, but I wanted to launch
nice.
our second city, and and I was just so pissed off because here I built and sold this landscaping business and felt like I was at a level bigger than what the business was doing. And
Yeah,
and I was talking to my co-founders, and this was like year 3, and I said, "Man, we got to launch our second city." And I mean, we've been in Nashville for 3 years. It's time.
yeah.
And my co-founder said, "Bro, I think 100 people used this thing last week, and I think we pissed off 98 of them. We don't need to go to a second city. We need to fix this problem. We need to fix the reason why we're pissing off 98 out of 100." And he was right. And that was what I needed to hear. And so we spent another year fixing
Mm,
that. And there's no reason to scale something that is not working.
yeah.
And so we had to get it working before we could move it into other cities.
But also, like, what I love about everything you're saying is like, there's not a rush. Why do you have to rush this? This is something, essentially one of your babies. You
Yeah,
love doing what you're doing. Like, why do you want to rush doing something that you enjoy doing so much? And that's where like business sometimes fail because you're just trying to make it bigger and keep dumping money in people without the passion or the
totally.
drive or
Sometimes
understanding.
sometimes there is a rush if you're, if you were Uber and Lyft,
Yeah.
and then
Oh,
there were
yeah.
and then there was Sidecar, and there was Taxi Magic, and like four or five others.
Competition.
Yeah, that was an all out land grab, and they had to raise a bunch of money and move very quickly. That wasn't happening in our industry. I knew that nobody was going to dominate all of lawn mowing in 3 years. I knew that we could go slow, and I felt like that was the best approach. But sometimes when you're building a new product, there is a rush, and you have to
Right.
kind of know what game you're playing. For us, luckily, we could take our time, and I think taking our time and going slow and low is the reason why we're here today. And another caveat to that was we didn't have investors that would kind of breathing down our neck and saying, "Hey,
Mm,
we gotta we gave you $1 million. We got to turn it into 10 million in 4 years.
mm.
And if you can't do that, we're going to replace you as CEO." Like, that happens. And so, yeah, we could go slow. So because of the realities of the game we were playing, but that's not always the case. But if you're starting a traditional business, uh, a restaurant, a construction company, a home cleaning service, whatever, you can go slow. But it's important to not confuse patience with procrastination.
Mm.
A lot of times, entrepreneurs will fall in a trap of thinking, well, I heard some advice on TikTok that I should trust the process and be patient, and then that's true, but then they're just procrastinating. They're not doing the sales. They're not making the cold calls. They're not talking to the customers, not writing the code. They're not passing out the
Yeah.
flyers. And so it's like, okay, you can sit there and be patient all you want. Nothing's going
Mm.
to happen.
No, I agree. I think that particular quote works in a particular industry or mindset. I'm not sure. Like me and my wife do real estate. So I'm, every day. cold calling, cold
Yeah,
calling. Hey, you want to sell your home? You want to sell your home? You want to sell your home?
yeah,
You want to sell your home? So, it's only a matter of time before I get a yes.
totally.
So
And
in that case, I trust my process because as long as I keep doing it and doing it and doing it, right?
that's right. You almost like the goal. I don't know what your goals are, but you almost don't even worry about the goals. You just worry about the process
Yeah.
and keep working the process and celebrate those little small wins. Like if you're getting 1% of those cold calls, celebrate that.
Yeah.
And just work that process and work and focus on that process. The goals matter, but you almost got to put them on a shelf and just focus on what are the things I'm doing every day, and then trust. Okay, I got to be patient because I'm working the process. A lot of people do the I want to be patient thing and they're not working the process. And that's procrastination.
Have you ever thought about like doing business seminars, uh, motivational for those who are trying to get into entrepreneurship, starting their own business because you have a lot of experience and knowledge on how to make it work or what did you do to make it work. A lot of people would definitely pay to pick your mind because you're somebody that you went through the grind.
Yeah, what I hope when somebody comes away with an interview that they listen to a podcast with me is like, if that guy can do it, I can do it too.
Mm.
And I hope that somebody that listens to an interview with me who might be one level behind me sees what I've done and it can get to my level. I think when you're consuming content, you need to consume it from somebody who's one level ahead of you. Or two levels. And I listened to an interview with Bryan Chesky, the founder of Airbnb, the other day. And Bryan Chesky with Airbnb might as well be on Pluto
Mm.
compared to where I'm at with GreenPal. I mean, that's $100 billion company. And so
Yeah.
and so that like was entertainment, but I wasn't learning a whole lot. I need to listen to the interview with Bryan Chesky from like 2008 because
It's
that's when
more
they
informative. Yeah.
yeah, that's more informative. So I appreciate that. Personally, I do things that I enjoy doing, and I don't think I would enjoy running an educational seminar, or an educational product. But what I do enjoy mentoring and coaching entrepreneurs as a hobby. I have a little handful that I do that with now for free. And then I like doing interviews like this. I like doing podcast interviews. They're fun for me. They keep me sharp, and then I hope that I can share my story and inspire people to think, okay, well, if that dude was a lawn guy, I
Yeah.
mean, literally, I used to push mow yards, and then he became a tech entrepreneur. And he doesn't seem that smart. I know I can do that. I can do it if that guy could, and so that's why I like to do these.
Yeah, I agree 100% with you. I think people have this misconception that everything is completed in increment, step by step. A lot of consumers or people that want to do something in life, you know, I guess it has to do with this today's modern instant gratification
Yeah,
that they want everything quick, they want everything expensive, and don't understand that you had to work past levels to get to where you're at.
yeah. It's like we're sold this myth of the overnight success because that's what's sexy.
Hmm.
And you watch any movie about entrepreneurship, the part where they actually build the business is set to like a music montage. It's like,
Yeah.
and I love movies about entrepreneurship. Some of my favorite movies, like the movie The Founder, the Ray
Yes.
Kroc story. That's an exciting movie, and it's got all of these plot lines and stuff. But the part where like Ray Kroc is grinding it out, looking at sites in Des Moines,
Yes.
Iowa, or some BS, that wouldn't have been a very exciting movie. And so that stuff is never in the movie. Same thing in the movie The Social Network. If you had to make a movie about how Mark Zuckerberg built Facebook, it just would have been like them behind their laptop coding for 2 hours. That's all it would have been. Like
Yeah.
all. So my point is that we're sold this myth of like the glamour and sexiness of entrepreneurship, and unless you've kind of tried it and done it, you don't really understand.
Mm.
And I'm not. I don't want to dissuade anybody from trying it. It's just you need to know that it's going to be a grind. It's going to be 2 or 3 years before you can even make as much as you are making in your job today.
Mm.
It's going to be a 10-year thing that you're going to dedicate your life to. It's not going to happen overnight. There are never overnight successes. It's always 5 or 6 or 7 years. And it's like I saw a meme on Instagram the other day, and it's this meme, and like it's a picture of Charles Oppenheimer sitting on a couch, and he's very pensive, and he's thinking about something, and he's probably thinking the creation of the atom bomb. But on the meme it says me. It says me uh, thinking about quitting my corporate job because I'm about to lose it, and I'm just going to go open a coffee shop. So I'm about to lose it. I'm going to go quit my job, and I'm just going to go open a coffee shop. And that's what the meme says. And what the author of this meme doesn't realize or know, and what most people looking at the meme don't know, is you go open that damn coffee shop, you're gonna work you're gonna work 7 days a week,
Double the amount. Yeah.
80 hours a week for a
Yes.
third of the money you're making right now. You don't understand all of like the bees that are about to sting you
Yes.
that you don't even know about. You have no clue about how many taxing authorities there are just to
Mm.
damn coffee shop. You have no idea about what a pain in the ass employees are. And so it's like you're going to work 10 times harder than
Yeah.
you do at your corporate gig. I promise you. And
No.
you're going and you'll be lucky if you make a profit the first year. And so that's the kind of quicksand trap that a lot of people fall into. It's like, oh, I hate my job. I need the good life. Therefore, I'm going to go start a business. You're not going to get the good life for probably 5 or 10 years.
Mm. And I tell I every when I'm having this conversation with my guests, I tell them that all the time. Like building a media company to what I'm doing, what I'm at, and where I envision is gonna take some time. But the understanding that you have to also invest in your business.
Yeah, totally.
You quitting your 9 to 5 and having no money to start a business, it doesn't make sense. It's crucial. Not everything's that simple. Like for me, I've worked in corporate. I hate corporate,
Hate
but
it.
I hate
Hate
it.
it.
I hate it with a passion. I hate it with a passion. But I will go time to time, go back to work, invest in my business, leave that job, invest in my business, go back to a different job where I can gain some criteria, experience,
Yeah. Oh,
some
yeah.
knowledge, keep moving, not the same place, then come back to my business because that's my form of experimenting, of learning, being
Bingo.
hands-on, right? But a lot of people just leave it and expect that you're gonna make money like this.
Right.
Just man, just catering to a client to close a contract, get a deal,
Right.
put a bid in.
Yeah.
It's it's
But
work.
7 days a week.
Yes.
And there has to be something inside of you that's bigger than I'm just trying to get this money. I'm
Yes.
not, and I'm get making money and having financial success and becoming financially independent is a big part of it. But there needs to be some kind of fire in your belly that beyond that, which is, I want to build this thing, or I want to have this business, or I want to be proud of this, or I want to employ people and give people an opportunity to
Mm.
to grow alongside me. There has to be something else. I would say half and half, or else you're going to burn out and you're going to go back to you know to the paycheck because
Hmm.
that's all you want. Yeah, and somebody said, it might have been Elon Musk. He said working a corporate gig is so starting a business is like chewing glass, but working a corporate gig is like waterboarding.
Mm.
And so you just kind of pick your torture,
Yeah.
you get to pick which pain you want. They're both of them suck, and both of them suck for their own reasons. But at least working on your own business, there's unlimited upside,
Hmm.
uncapped upside. Whereas at a job, your upside is capped.
Yeah. My wife, my wife says you rather do it for yourself than do it for other people.
Totally.
Like I would call it I have an obsession. You have to be obsessed what you're passionate about because if you're not, then what are you doing?
Right. Yeah, and if you're not enthusiastic about it, how do you expect your employees to be? How do you expect your customers to be? You better be damn enthusiastic about what it is you're doing, what the mission is, where you see the business in 5 years.
Hmm.
You better get excited about that because you're going to need that fuel.
Yeah, you have to almost like a salesperson who wants to sell you something. In order for them to be a salesperson, they have to believe in the product.
Yeah,
If you don't believe in the product, you're not selling anything. But it works better when you're passionate about the product. Like Green Pal. This
totally,
works. This is needed. This is man, this is what I wish I had when I was a kid, so I could make some money and buy my own things for school, buy my first car,
totally.
things,
That's why we exist.
right?
And
It's
and and,
good.
and you got to know what you're doing is a public good, and
Yes.
that the people that do business with you are better off for it, and they're better off doing business with you versus a competitor. You got to know that and believe that. And if you
Yes.
don't, you kind of need to fix whatever is wrong with that, and then build up from there.
Yes, totally agree. So how does Green Pal work? Where can we find the app? Do we
Yeah,
go to the website?
yeah, you download GreenPal in the App Store, Play Store. It's in both stores, or you just go to greenpal.com. As a homeowner, you just pop your address in, you click the orange button, you pop your address in, and then lawn care companies around you compete for your business. And then
Oh,
you,
nice.
you, you can read reviews about what other people have said about them. You can compare pricing and then hire the one you want to work with. And if you like the job they did, you can just push another button and they come every week or every 2 weeks. This kind of happens like clockwork for you.
Nice. And if they love the product, can they share with other people? How can we promote this?
Well, anybody that's got grass outside and doesn't want to mow it, just go to greenpow.com. Anybody that wants to be in the lawn mowing business, maybe you're in the business, maybe you want to get started, go to greenpow.com and scroll to the bottom and sign up as a vendor.
Oh, there you have it. What can they find you, contact you, follow you,
Yeah,
follow so
LinkedIn's a great place. Just Google my name, Bryan Clayton, in LinkedIn, and you'll find me. Instagram's a good place. Bryan M Clayton. I share a lot of my stuff there, and yeah, either of those places, just drop me a DM.
boom, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Go follow him, go support him, go check out Green Pal now. Make sure to follow me on Instagram, Mr. Inspire Retain. I'm on the link. I'm on Facebook. Thank you guys. Have a good night.